Now I'm just in the middle of the process of recording this video, so I'm kind of switching back and forth between my actual phone and also like a camera that I have right there. But I just wanted to make a mention of the quality finishes that are in this printer. So these are the type of fittings and the wiring looms and everything that are made for it. But I don't know, you can just recognize that it's a little bit of a better quality than things usually are with these computer components and everything. All of these fittings have been custom designed for this purpose and everything. So everything fits pretty well together, and you can just see how these components are supposed to be mounted together and everything. So that is, I don't know, it's just a good sign to see that these qualities, that these components are produced to this quality, I guess. So hopefully the rest of the printer is held to the same standard as these components are, and that will mean that I have a lot of potential with this 3D printer. So I'm getting excited for it. Yeah. I'm just keep you guys updated, I guess. So I was just going through some of the packages that are in the box as well, and this is like a whole new toolkit with like a whole different sets of spanglers and tighteners and I don't know what the proper English words are for these things, but you just have a whole new set of tie wraps and these you know what I mean. So that's always dope to see that the packaging has just been taken care of and that everything is just up to par. It's just all quality signs of a good product packaging, I guess. Yeah, now I'm actually pretty glad that I've got some experience with these 3D printers and I kind of know what everything is, how it works, and how these things go. So, yeah, as you can see below here, this is the print bed. It's actually made out of metal, but there are like these turning knobs underneath it where my finger is right now, so I'm not going to turn it right now because it feels like it's preloaded and it is already where it's supposed to be, but that is for calibration purposes. So with that setup and with all of those corners and everything, you can really make sure that you're printing always on the level print bed and that it's not going to fall off on the edges and all of that. So yeah, that is a little bit that I also had to deal with on the previous printers. So and I know a little bit more about how to deal with it and how to take all those things into consideration when 3D printing. So I'm getting excited for this. This is getting good, and the build quality overall just looks really good, up to par with what it should be. And I just can't wait. So I'm gonna just continue building on and see you guys in a couple of minutes, I guess. So all I have to do at this part with bolts and everything are these brackets right here. So hopefully that is possible to show, and also on the other side of it, so to make sure that it's kind of double mounted, so that this whole frame is kind of mounted as a solid piece, and I have to do that on both sides. So now this whole brace just feels like one unit and you can't really move it independently from the rest. Another thing that I should mention is that there are in these 3D printers there are little things like bump stops. So this is a little trick you can hear. So that will mean that whenever this this whole rail system that will eventually go up and down for the printing level, as soon as it hits this bottom right here, so this piece hits this bottom, then the computer will know that it's at its lowest point possible, so it can't go further than that, to also protect the print bed and to make sure that these two don't crash into each other and all that. So that is another component to it. And then I had to mount this bracket for the actual filament spool to be held up to standard, and this will also be very useful during printing because this filament will be kind of pulled out the whole time while printing, if I can get my thumb underneath it. So, and then it won't really give any resistance once it is kind of pulling out. And with the other printers I had, they didn't have a system like this. I actually 3D printed some sort of rail for this, for the filament and everything, because I couldn't get it for the printer itself. So I actually designed and printed that for a previous printer that I had. So those are all kind of all the plus points that come with this 3D printer. So this is the computer, the controlling unit, and this is now all of the wiring that I still have to fix up. This is actually a filament sensor that will detect when there's no longer any filament in the printer, so that you can fix it and to add other filaments to it while printing. So that is also something that my other printer didn't have. and all of the rest of these are just wiring looms to connect all of the electric motors and all of the heating elements to each other, and also these things like the bump stop and everything to accommodate for all of the sensors and the motors and everything it has. So that is this wiring loom, but all of the wiring is also coated in like this this cover for the wiring and everything to make sure that it doesn't rub against each other. So everything is going to satisfaction at the moment. I don't know how I'm supposed to get a wire all the way in there, but yeah, that is the X wire. This wire needs to go in this hole, but my finger is like I don't know how to get in there, but I'll figure it out. Let's see. So this is let's see.
So it goes like this.
I think it should go like that, but I can never see it. Like even if I use two hands. Alright, it is an hour later. The printer is actually calibrated and everything, so I leveled the printing bed and all of that. So now it's time to actually hook it up to the computer to install and to download all the driver software that I need to operate the printer, and then I will try to configure a way to put a camera on the printer and to just showcase the first print that will come out in multiple stages to get a dope video going. So yeah, that's what I'm up to right now. And also in this whole process, I actually forgot to eat out of excitement, I guess. So I'm actually beginning to feel very, very hungry right now. So as soon as the printer is on and running, I will also eat something. But I've been very excited the whole time. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys when the printer is actually running. Okay, so I'm now talking to you in a regular conversational voice, and I just want to hear kind of how hard the printer is sounding when I'm just talking over it a little bit. So let's figure out how loud it is actually, because right now it actually seems to be not that bad. It's a little bit more than I expected it to be, but it's good. So at the moment I'm actually printing a rose. So yeah, I'll show you. So yeah, this is now printing. I don't know if you won't really be able to see it because it's blocking its own view, I guess. But it will continue to be this. So it will turn out to be a rose. So this has been printing for the past 2 hours, I would say, and it's about halfway done where it's supposed to be. And it's gonna be like a rose that is 3D printed, but all of the leaves of the rose are pretty thin. So I wanted to do some. Alright, so today's been a very fucking long day, and let me turn this off. Alright, so today has been a pretty long day. I've been constantly listening to this 3D printer, and even though the sound is still way less than it used to be before, it is still too much. So I'm still gonna build a case around it to kind of enclose the space and everything, because you do also smell it, and you do also still notice that there's a 3D printer on in the room right now. So I don't know if you guys can actually hear it over me talking, but that is at least the update of where I'm at right now. So the first component that I'm printing actually at the moment is a rose, and the reason why, because I promised way back a couple years ago that when I had a functioning 3D printer, that a colleague of mine asked me if I could make a rose for her. So she wanted a 3D printed rose. So that is the first component that I'm making. But also I'm really, actually, to be honest, the real reason why I printed it is because it is a part with very thin layers on it, and it has like very intricate shapes that kind of have to move smoothly and everything. You need to have like a little bit more of a high precision printer to print out a part like that. So that's why I also thought it would be a good starting off point to really see how good the quality of my printer is. So now I'm kind of debating myself if it is a little bit too late to go outside. It's like 10 o'clock right now, but I feel like I need a little bit of fresh air, so I'm contemplating about taking a walk around the block, but I don't know how cold it will be and everything. So I don't know if I'm gonna do that. Probably not. But we'll see where it ends up. But I'm pretty stoked. I will turn the camera around to show you guys what I'm actually printing in a moment. So this is the actual component that is printing right now. And so it is, as I said, it's a rose. But as you can see, if you, I don't know if you will get a top view from it, but at least you can see that there are like multiple thin layers that the leaves of the rose flower is being printed, but they have to be supported by their own weight. And at the same time, it's a very thin layer, and so you can see that the quality is pretty high. And also with the flash on the camera, you can see how the light is reflecting on the surface and everything. So it's pretty smooth. It's going pretty good. It's way better than I expected. And also for the first print to just turn out like that is dope. I'm happy.